20. Chapter 20, Ang Pagsisimula ng Alamat. In a bustling city in Luzon, the day unfolded like any other, with people immersed in their daily routines, oblivious to the crime unfolding within a modest bank. Hidden behind tinted glass walls, the establishment was under siege. Armed criminals had overpowered the guards and were looting the vault, their actions unseen by the passers-by and motorists outside. Inside, 3 masked men terrorized the bank's occupants, striking anyone who moved too slowly as they stuffed bags with cash. The employees and customers lay face down on the cold floor, paralyzed by fear, their pleas for mercy drowned by the robbers' ruthless commands. No one dared resist. One of the thieves snatched a bag of money from a trembling bank employee. In a cruel act of dominance, he kicked the man to the ground and fired a shot into his chest, even though he posed no threat. Screams erupted, filling the soundproofed room, but the outside world remained deaf to the chaos. Irritated by the noise, the leader of the robbers singled out a shrieking woman, shooting her in the head as a brutal warning to the others. The survivors stifled their cries, covering each other's mouths in terror, desperate to avoid the same fate. Having collected their loot, the robbers prepared to flee. But as they rushed toward the exit, one of them tripped over the outstretched leg of a young female teller. Enraged, he accused her of defiance, ignoring her tearful pleas and explanations. Without hesitation, he aimed his gun and fired. She collapsed, blood pooling beneath her lifeless body. At that moment, a deafening crash echoed from above. Something or someone had landed on the bank's rooftop. Eric, transformed into his ethereal form as a Fugo, stood at the edge of the building. His long white hair billowed in the fierce wind, and he let out a heavy sigh as he gazed down at the chaos below. Fearless, he leaped from the 4th floor, landing squarely in front of the bank's entrance just as the 3 robbers burst out. The criminals froze, startled by the sudden appearance of a woman cloaked in shimmering blue energy. "Wait, are you that hero they call a Fugo?" One stammered, gripping his gun tighter. Ifugo's head was bowed, her voice low but resolute. "It's far too early for this. You're the cancer plaguing this city, and it's time you're cut out." Panicked, the robbers raised their weapons, threatening to shoot if she interfered. Ifugo stood her ground, unflinching. One of the men, losing his nerve, fired a shot directly at her forehead. The force pushed her back slightly, but she remained standing, unscathed. The robbers exchanged bewildered glances as she raised her head, revealing no trace of a wound. "Impossible. What kind of demon are you?" One shouted, his voice trembling. In a frenzy, they unleashed a barrage of bullets. Ifugo caught one with her bare hand, her movements swift and precise. The gunfire continued until their clips ran dry, but not a single bullet left a mark on her. As their fear mounted, Ifugo's lips curled into a faint, chilling smile. Dropping their empty guns, the robbers drew knives and lunged at her. Ifugo sprang into action, delivering a lightning-fast punch that sent one man crashing to the ground, unconscious. The bag of money he carried split open, scattering bills across the street. The remaining 2, shaken by their comrade's fate, dropped their weapons and bolted toward a red getaway car. "You think you can escape?" Ifugo called after them, her tone laced with defiance. The robbers piled into the car, the driver flooring the gas in an attempt to run her down. Ifugo raised her fan, which glowed and transformed into a sleek spear with a crescent blade at its tip. Her eyes showed no fear as the car barreled toward her. With a powerful thrust of the spear into the ground, she vaulted into the air, flipping gracefully over the vehicle. The driver, stunned but determined, sped off without looking back. Ifugo, unfazed, aimed her spear at the fleeing car. It shimmered, morphing into a crimson sword rifle, the same weapon she had wielded in her battle at Urdaneta. She pulled the trigger, unleashing glowing energy bolts that pierced the car's tires. The vehicle swerved, crashing into a pole. The passengers survived but were dazed. One robber, bloodied but desperate, stumbled out and ran. Ifyogo's weapon transformed again, splitting into two Arnie's sticks. With a flick of her wrist, she hurled one, striking the fleeing man in the head from 30 meters away. He crumpled to the ground, unconscious. "Bullseye!" Ifyogo exclaimed, grinning with pride. Who knew Arnie's sticks could be thrown like that? Minutes later, chaos erupted outside a police station in the same city. Officers scrambled as Ifyogo strode in, dragging the 3 bound robbers behind her, tied with a black whip. She approached the desk with a confident smile. "Delivery, sir," she said to the stunned officer. The station fell silent. Ifyogo's eyes caught a wanted poster on the wall, her own face, labeled a criminal for her past defiance against the Spanish colonial governor of Pangasinan. Yet, none of the officers moved to arrest her. They knew bullets and blades were useless against her. "I'm not here to cause trouble or get caught," she said calmly. "I just want to help the people of this city." The station chief hesitated, torn between duty and the reality of her power. "I don't want trouble either," he finally said. "You brought these criminals to us. Now go." Ifyogo nodded, flashing an "Okay" sign. "Don't worry, as long as the law stands for justice, I'm on your side, Filipino or Spaniard." With that, she turned and sprinted out, leaping onto a nearby rooftop and vanishing into the city. Hours later, Ifyogo stood atop another building, gazing over the city from a 4th-floor rooftop. Eric's POV. As I stood in silence, a mysterious figure appeared beside Mie Dewata, materializing without a sound, like a ghost. "What's on your mind?" she asked, noticing the weight in my expression as I stared at the horizon. I confessed my failure. Once again, I had arrived too late to save the lives lost in the bank robbery. The guilt gnawed at me. How could I call myself a hero if I couldn't protect everyone? The Dewata's response was unexpected. Instead of comfort, she smacked me on the head with her stick. "Ow! What was that for?" I protested. "To stop your whining," she said bluntly. "You're a hero, not a god. You can't control everything or save everyone. Your job is to prevent tragedies where you can." Her words stung, but they rang true. Still, the thought of those lost lives, their laughter and joy silenced forever, tore at me. "It's not that simple," I said, my voice heavy. "I feel responsible." "Then why don't you just die with them?" she quipped, a mischievous glint in her eye. I managed a weak smile. "Not funny." "Oh, I have an idea," she continued, her tone playful but sharp. "How about I hit you every time someone dies in a crime? If you think every failure is your fault, you deserve punishment, right?" Before I could argue, she whacked me again. The pain was sharp. Her stick, infused with some strange magic, bypassed the protective energy that shielded me from bullets. "Stop it," I groaned, rubbing my head. She didn't. Another hit followed as she claimed someone else had just died in a crime, and I'd failed to save them. "Enough, please. I'll get a lump," I begged. The Dewata's expression softened, but her voice remained firm. "Before you can be a hero, you must accept the world's reality. No one, not even Dewatas, can change everything. You can't save every soul in this country." I bowed my head, her words sinking in. My expectations of myself were too high. I wasn't just striving to be a hero, I wanted to be perfect, to be the savior everyone relied on. It was arrogance, in a way. "If that's your mindset, you'll only fail," she said, delivering one final tap with her stick. "Stop overthinking and listen to your Dewata. Understood?" I sighed, nodding reluctantly. "Fine, but wait, you're not even my real Dewata." She smirked. Doesn't matter. The true Ifugo Dewata is asleep for centuries. For now, you serve me. That's not what we agreed on. I protested, but another whack silenced me. I dodged her next swing, which only amused her more. You're dodging now? Refusing punishment from your Dewata? She teased, chasing me across the rooftops. As I leaped from building to building, evading her playful attacks, I glanced down at a park below. Families laughed, friends shared stories, and lovers walked hand in hand. In that moment, I remembered why I fought to protect their peace, their joy, to spare them the tragedies that had taken my friend Alfredo. I stopped running. I swear. I said, my voice steady with resolve. I'll unite this nation, Filipinos and Spaniards alike, and build a new Philippines where peace and safety reign. The Dewata paused, her smile softening. For once, she didn't hit me. End of chapter.